Hi, it's Mark with DWE, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own custom presets in Soundworks by stacking sounds across various libraries. Let's check it out. Okay, so here I have Soundworks open with the default kit. First thing I like to do when I'm creating a custom preset is to clear out any kit that's loaded and start with a clear kit. So click down here and clear the kit. Okay, now let's decide what we want to create. In this demonstration, I want to create a hybrid kit, which is going to be an acoustic and electronic kit combined. And I'll do this by stacking sounds and trying to create a good overall dance kit. So let's start with the kick drum. Now we'll go over to the Roland Legacy Electronic Pack. And there's a lot of kick drums here. So what I'll do is hold down Shift and I'll use my mouse wheel and I'll scroll down and find a kick I like. Now I already know I want to use this hip hop kit. So I'm going to assign this. Okay, now I want to stack on top of this. So far we have this. And that's a little flat. So let's add an electronic kick sound to it. I'll go over to the X-Pad location, select X-Pad 1, and here I can stack another kick. So I think for my second kick, I want to just do a classic 909. So again, I'll hold down Shift and scroll, and I'll pick this 909 kick. Now we have this and this. And hear them together. I'll use my MIDI keyboard controller, and you can hear them both together. Now what I'll want to do after I select all my drums and cymbals is I'll want to blend these. So right now they're all at the default volumes, but you can blend these by using the articulation volume control and blend those to taste. Okay, so next thing we'll do is select the snare drum. So I'll click on that to select a blank snare, and I'm going to add an acoustic snare first. So the one I want to choose will be from the Design Acrylic Pack. I like this 4x14 snare drum. This is a polished copper DW snare, and it's a really good dance snare. Now I'm going to want to layer on top of that to get more of the electro dance sound. So I'll choose another X-Pad, X-Pad 2, and I'm going to add from the Roland Electric Pack. Let's go with classic 808 sound. Now I like this power snare here, so I'm going to assign that. And since it's in the snare category, they already have the MIDI note assignments pre-assigned, so you don't have to worry about that. So we have now this, and together we have. So again, we'll blend that a bit after we select the rest of our drums and cymbals. Next, let's move over to the hi-hat. And now I'm going to select an EDM style hi-hat. So we'll go over, stay on the electronics pack. And I'm going to choose, let's go down to the bottom. I like this drum and bass hi-hat. All right. But also I'm going to try something and stack on this hi-hat to get a little more sizzle on top. So I'll pick X-Pad 3, go back over to my hi-hats, and now I'd like to add an 808 hi-hat. So this first one here, just hit assign, and we've got that classic 808 hi-hat sound. Now together they sound like this. And we'll do some blending on those as well. Now next, let's select our tom-toms. And for this, I like a real flat tom sound for this dance kit. So I'm going to choose toms from the Trevor Lawrence Artist Pack. There's a real nice 7x12 maple poplar DW tom here. And I'll select that. Now there's only one rack tom on this kit. So if you go to rack tom 3, you see nothing here. So I'm going to actually assign it again to the next tom 2 here. And select tom 2 again and assign. Now these sound the same. So I'm going to want to pitch these differently. So I'll tune this one up a bit and take this one down. All right, now let's add the floor toms. Now this pack does have 2 floor toms, so I'll select the 14, and let's select the 16. All right, great. Those don't really need any stacking. In fact, toms aren't as common in dance or EDM music, so you don't need to go too wild on those, but they do have a nice flat punchy sound. All right, next let's add our crash cymbals. Go to crash 1, and just to mix things up a bit here, I'm going to go to the metal legacy pack. Now, you wouldn't think of metal cymbals for dance music, but this legacy pack has some really nice cymbal choices. So let's go with this 16 sound caster. Real nice overall cymbal. And I'll go to cymbal 4, which will be the cymbal on my right. And I'll go with an 18-inch vinyl. So now I have 2 really nice crashes. And last thing, we'll add a ride cymbal. Now for the ride, I just want a good all-around ride. I like the one that comes in the maple mahogany pack, this 22-inch Zildjian. Now that's a little hot, so I'm going to go to the global instrument volume, pull that down a bit. Okay. Now let's listen to this kick and snare. Let's see, with the kick, I want to just adjust a bit. So I'm going to push this kick up a bit from -6 to around -5. I'm going to go over here and pull this down a bit to about -8. Again, you can hold down Shift to get finer resolution, so it's easier to choose an exact number. Now let's hear it. Okay, so we've got the natural acoustic punch along with an EDM style kick. Okay, now the snare drum. I have 2 layers here, but I actually think I want to add like a hand clap style sound to this, so I'm going to choose another X pad. And let's go to the effects category. Under this cowbell position, you'll find some claps down towards the bottom. So let's choose something real wide and ambient. Go down here. Here's ambience clap 2. I like this one. That's going to be great for dance music. So we'll assign that to XPad 4. And now let's hear them all together. Okay, now you notice this new snare is not sounding because I haven't assigned a MIDI note number here. So the default on this particular instrument is 102. So I'm going to double click in here, change it to the same snare head note as the other 2, which is 38. Now when I hit my MIDI controller, I have all 3 of them. So I'll pull this back a little bit so it's not too much hand clap. There we go. And I think I want to take this EDM style snare up a bit. And then if you mute this, you'll hear just the other 2. So adding that gives us a really nice punch, plus an electronic sound over the top of it. Okay, now that's it. Now if we want to hear how our kit sounds inside of Soundworks, we can go over to the grooves page, and let's pick the electronics grooves. And let's just start on this one here. Now this one is set at 139, so I'm going to click in the tempo and just type in 139 so I can hear the proper tempo. And let's see what we got. Okay, so it sounds like a good dance style kit. Let's check out another groove. This is at 96, so click in there and enter 96. Okay, let's check out something different here. Great. Okay, so we've got our hybrid kit built, and last thing you want to do here is save it. So since this is a dance style kit, I'll just name this Dance Kit 1. In case I want to build more, I'll start with one. Now this is a dance style, so the genre will be dance, and the ambience I would say would be for stage. All right, save that. Now that's saved, and we can go over to our kit and play it and see how it sounds. Let's check it out.